make things make a little bit more sense. So that way, when you are trading, you're trading more confidently. You're trading with actual comprehension of what price action is going to do, and you have a better idea of when you should be getting in and when you should be getting out of trades. These are fundamentally the most important things that you should be looking out for when you guys are, trading in itself. So, with that being said, we are going to go ahead and jump into the charts right here, and we'll make sure that everything is connected. All right, cool. Yo, welcome in. What's up, y'all? Yo, if you guys are just coming in, go ahead and drop a like down below. TikTok, get us to 5K likes. 5K likes. Actually, let's do 10K. Let's spice it up a little bit today. All right, so let's kind of go over some lessons that you can kind of tell from the market. We had some consolidation today on SPX. Today, the goal is to kind of walk through what it looks like to be in consolidation. Some things to kind of watch out for. So a lot of people usually get caught in consolidation days. And what I mean by consolidation day is just choppiness, right? Let me go ahead and let the lines down before the sun gets to getting a little too crazy in the penthouse. Just let this down. All right, cool. That should help a little bit. Sun is definitely beaming. All right, cool. So a lot of people usually get caught up on consolidation days due to them not understanding price action coming off of a weekend, right? One of the most important things that I feel like any trader should hear and understand is that I get what it's like to trade in 1 week, go over a weekend. On the weekend, you're studying, you're watching a bunch of videos, you're probably in a community or course or something like that, and you're eager to start trading again. And then you come into Monday with this anticipation that, hey, the market's back open, I just gotta trade today. And I want you guys to understand something, right? It is important to not get in over your head, right? And what I mean by that is stop trying to trade just because the market is open. You have to have a set criteria as to why you're actually taking a trade. If you don't have a criteria, then every opportunity that the market is open, you're going to just trade. When in reality, you should only be trading your setup, right? Yesterday we talked about having a trading plan, right? Well, today, if you followed your trading plan, you would have known that today is not a day where you would have wanted to trade, right? Now, are there certain places you could have got in? Yes. However, majority of the day was complete consolidation. I mean, from the first 15 minutes of the day, right? Even if we just actually look at the first hour of the day. So right now we're looking at the 15-minute time frame, right? When you look at this 15-minute time frame, you see choppiness during the first hour all the way up till about 10:30, right? You get this breakout, right? We come back up, we come up about 10 points, right? And then we reverse immediately back down and consolidate. So a lot of the times, like, for me, I ended up taking a trade at the end of the day and I closed red. And the reason being is because it was a high anticipation trade that I took and it just didn't work, and that's cool. But the beginning of the day, usually after a weekend, especially when you guys have PPI, CPI, you got the 10-year and the 30-year bond auction coming up this week on Wednesday and Thursday, right? These are very pivotal moments in the market, right? These are data points in the market that makes the market move. And I think that if you guys don't know how to understand when and why the market is moving the way it's going to move, you're just trading anything, right? And like I said, every criteria of trading needs to be met before you just trade, right? So like if you take a look at this, right, and I come down to, let's go up to like a 2-hour time frame, right? If you guys look at the 2-hour time frame, looking at SPX right now, you had a 3-bar, which is volatility. So you broke both sides of the previous candle. Automatically looking at something like that and then coming back down and then consolidating, this isn't the type of environment that you would want to trade in. Does that make sense? Like, you don't want to trade in an environment where it's unsure. You want to trade where you have an unfair advantage. You want to trade where there's opportunity in the market for you to execute your plan. If your plan doesn't present itself, then you don't take it. You don't take the trade. Are y'all following? Y'all tracking? I have the same strategy, but on the 4-hour regular trading hours. Yeah, you can use the 4 hour. So like, even if you go up to the 4-hour time frame, right, you can see based off of looking at the 4-hour if we're gonna just consolidate majority of the day. So look at this, right? This is the 4-hour time frame. You had a 3-bar, and then you had consolidation the rest of the day, right? Now this right here tells you a story. So I don't want to, if the higher time frames are consolidating, if you have an inside candlestick, right? Even if you go up on the daily time frame, right? On the daily time frame, you have an inside candlestick. Let's go ahead and remove this broad information, right? Looking at the daily time frame, right? Even on SPX, this candlestick was inside of yesterday's price action. So I already knew coming into this, hey, I don't want to trade today. I'm cool with sitting cash because I know that today the price action, the volume is going to be pretty low with the data that we have coming out the rest of this week. And or we just might chop up due to not having any actual data coming out today, right? Those were my criteria. And I said, hey, you know, if price action isn't clean in that first hour of the day, I'm not trading it. So the question you want to ask yourself is today a prime time for me to trade? Is my setup coming today, right? And you should be able to know based off of looking at the higher time frames, right? So what you would do is you come up to like a 6 hour or a 4 hour or a daily time frame, and you say, hey, where is the price? Where's the price compared to the recent candlestick? If this is making sense, drop a yes or down below in the chat. Because it has the best patterns. Yeah, the Strat will give you some of the cleanest patterns for entries, whether it's day trading, swing trading, doesn't matter what type of trading. It's one of the most consistent. So what I'm showing you right now is to show you not to trade all the time. Like I talked about this yesterday. Sahara, what's up? I see you back in here. I talked about this yesterday where people just like, I'm going to be the one that's going to trade every day and I'm going to make money every day. Like, no, your setup doesn't come every day. If this is why I be telling people, like, if you're just taking a 30-minute orb or just taking a 15-minute orb, here's what people don't tell y'all, right? You can take a 15-minute orb. You could take a 30-minute orb. There's nothing wrong with that, right? However, taking it every single day, right? Like, granted, I know people want to simplify trading as much as possible, but I think you still need to understand price action. You need to be able to read a chart. Just waiting for a candlestick to open and then taking a break isn't necessarily reading the chart because you're not looking left. If we know that the market is based off of what has happened in the past and all you're doing is waiting for one candle to open and then just taking a break, you're not considering what could have possibly happened in the past. So like, that's why like sometimes I be hearing people say like, you know, talk about the 15-minute orb, the 30-minute orb, and it all sounds great. It sounds amazing to someone who has no clue what they're doing. It's a simple strategy. You can jump into it. Does it work sometimes? Absolutely. But it's not going to always work. You need to understand price action. You need to be able to read a chart. You need to know who is in control. What is the overall market structure? What is the trend in the market right now? Is there pivotal things? This is what people don't tell you. You could take a 15-minute orb, but what if you have data on the 30-minute at 10 a.m.? So you're taking a candlestick break at a 15-minute time frame when there's something pivotal data coming out at, you know, 10 o'clock. So you're taking a trade at 9:45 when the real data comes out at 10. And then when you get smoked at 10, you blame the strategy. It's not the strategy, it's that the strategy is not confluent with what you're doing. Trading is not as easy as 1, 2, 3. That's how I wanted to say it, but like I don't want to push nobody's buttons because whatever strategy works for somebody else, I really don't care. I just want to make sure that y'all are able to read a chart at the end of the day. If you learn how to read a chart, you can do your long-term investing, you can do leaps, you can do swing trading, you could do scalps, you can do all of that if you just understand price action. But you have to understand what price action is doing on certain time frames if you're going to trade. Right? How are you? I'm doing good, Queen. How are you? Yeah, I had that same mentality thinking I was obligated to trade or if I didn't trade. Absolutely. Look, like, here's one of the most important things that I could possibly tell you. If you trade right now, did you just get on? Yeah, I just got on. If you trade right now, don't focus on trading every day. Like Mondays, like if you go back and back test Mondays are usually days where either we consolidate, especially if you don't have any data or any news coming out on that Monday. Majority of the time, it's just going to consolidate. It's just going to chop up that first day. Right? Because especially if something happened, if we had a lot of price action on Friday, coming into Monday, investors are still sitting cash right now. They're not just jumping into anything, right? Which is why you see the market how it was today, where the price action was terrible. Good, I never catch the beginning. Well, here you go. You're in here. I appreciate you pulling up. So Zer, you asked a really good question. Where do you keep up with the news? Okay, this is a phenomenal question. So there is a couple different platforms I want you guys to just write down or type them down below in the chat. I think that'll be a good way for us to be interactive with each other. So the very first way is a website called Forex Factory. It's called Forex Factory. Hold on. Can y'all still see me? Oh, okay, never mind. I don't know why that was tweaking like that. Yo, can y'all hear me? Drop a yes down below if y'all can still hear me. I don't know what was just going on. Okay, cool. Okay. I think everything's good. I don't know why my audio. It just looked like my audio just stopped. Okay, y'all can still see me too, right? Okay, cool. Back to what I was saying. League on the taskbar. I don't know about that one. Hey man, look, don't start on me. You know, let me close the taskbar out. Okay. Don't pull my cards. We on live right now. All right. So number one is the Forex Factory. This is where I get all of my data. When you use the Forex Factory, just filter it by US. You don't like the other countries, their data that's coming out isn't necessarily affecting the stock market in a sense where like the US, what we trade, it's not going to affect us as much. You want to pay attention to the US data that's coming out. That's what's going to make the market move. So if you go to the forexfactory.com, right, and you filter it, right, it'll say like something like calendar or something like that, right? You go over there and then you'll be able to see CPI, right? If you don't know what CPI is, you can click on the folder and you can like see exactly what that means, right? PPI, if you don't know what PPI is, if you don't know what NFP stands for, if you don't know, like, here's the real honest truth. If you don't know when data is coming out, you are just guessing when you trading. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Not even gonna lie. Just being completely honest with you. If you are not aware of data and if you don't know what these things mean, if you don't know what jobless claims is, right? If you don't know who Powell is, if you don't know when Trump is speaking, Trump can go show up on the news at 10 a.m. and you would never know. And then your account gets blasted, your trade gets blasted because he says one off the rail thing, but you didn't know. You know, and one of the things I'll say is like, you know, granted, you can blame it on ignorance, but like on some real stuff, like when you come to the stream, like I'm gonna hold you accountable. If you didn't know, it's because you're not taking enough time to really learn the craft. You want to wait for a 15-minute candlestick to open and just trade it and just try to simplify it as much as you can, right? You need to understand what the market is doing. You need to understand data. Does this make sense? You want to understand the data. You want to understand what's going on. So one is Forex Factory. The second one you can use is Twitter. Twitter is one of my favorite platforms when it comes to getting news. So there's like certain accounts on there, like you guys can follow like CNBC, you know, certain accounts on Twitter, right? I have a list of them in my Discord. All of them don't come to mind, but I'll give y'all a couple of them. Let me pull up my Twitter real quick. All right, so we on Twitter right now. All right, so then post notifications. Okay, so you got unusual whales, right? When certain things are going on, I get, you know, messages from unusual whales. I turn on their post notifications. You also have, let's see here, Bitcoin Magazine. That's really for like Bitcoin maxis. If you're a maxi on Bitcoin, definitely want to have them on. You can also turn on stock market news. That's another good one. But these are accounts that you can find on Twitter. You can follow them and you can turn on post notifications, okay? Like FinViz too. FinViz is really good one. Other platforms you guys can check out: Yahoo Finance, CNBC, Market Watch, Bloomberg. What else am I missing? Like these are all platforms you can just pretty much download on your phone and just make sure your notifications on. So if in TradingView, you can have TradingView give you news as well. They have certain, you know, tabs where you get news. So, you know, the reason I'm saying all of this, and someone said, you know, this isn't necessarily a strategy. It's not. It's you comprehending what's going on in the market. It's not always about the strategy. It's about knowing when to execute your strategy. Does that make sense? It's not always about just the strategy, right? It's solely about when are you executing the strategy? Are you executing it at the best possible time? Exactly. Okay, good. Everything is making sense now, right? So like on a day like today, right? If we just scroll left, right? Look at what type of day you had on Monday. Look what day you had on Monday. In the beginning of the day, in the first hour and a half of the day, I mean, we completely sold off. Like this move from 65, so this is SPX, you know, we went from 65.43 all the way down to 64.55. This is about a 100-point move right here. Almost, right? This is about a 90-point move that happened in the beginning of the day, and then the rest of the day we ended up consolidating. So then this is what I'm saying. This, you can back test it for yourself. Strat makes everything easier. Absolutely, I agree, right? If you're coming off of a Friday like that, right, where you have a drastic sell-off, a lot of the time, it's not going to happen every time, but majority of the time, when Monday comes around, the day is going to consolidate. There's not going to be as much volume because you already had a very, very high volume day on Friday, and then there's no real data coming out this Monday, which was today. So we consolidated, right? And you can also tell by the volume if you come back and you look at this, right? If you come and look at today, the volume was nowhere near as high as it was on Friday. So this is why, like, you know, these indicators that we were talking about yesterday, if you guys came to yesterday's class, this is why this stuff is very important. If you guys get me to 20,000 likes, I'll bring back up my indicators and y'all can just screenshot my indicators, okay? If y'all give me the 20,000 likes on TikTok, I'll give you guys the ability to just screenshot all of my indicators. How about that? I think that's pretty fair. Yo, the lighting is like booming. That's the one thing about having a penthouse. It's like when you at the top of the top, the sun don't stop at like 7 p.m. This is like the time that I would like to like stream. You know what I'm saying? But the sun just don't stop beaming. And this is with my blinds down. But that's besides the fact. Yeah, 20,000 likes. I'll give you guys the indicator. All right. The strat. So the strat is these numbers right here. So the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s. I have a video on it on YouTube. You can feel free to watch it. It's about 30 minutes long. So you can pretty much just watch it. Do you trade in silence or you have music on? I always trade in silence. I know some people trade with music and stuff. I just can't do that. That's just not really for me personally. That's not for me personally. I like to sit in silence because the thing is sometimes music can sway your emotions, especially if like a song, a banger comes on and you sitting there vibing and rocking. You don't need to be that lit. You need to be in a controlled state. For me personally, and not everyone, you know, operates like that. I'll go to indicators, look for Strat Assistant. Yes, that's the name of the Strat Assistant. This, the numbers on the chart, that is called Strat Assistant. Okay, Strat Assistant. I listen to Mozart. Yeah, I mean, if that works for you, you know, go for it. You know, I think I just would have to say it's completely different. You know what I'm saying? How do you know a buy-in based off of a 3-2-1 candles? I've been failing. So you want to wait till the candle closes. And Rays, yo, what's up? Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you pulling up to the stream. Yo, Austin, appreciate you for the sub. Or is it West? Hey, West, I appreciate you for the sub, bro. Thank you, man. All right, so I got faked out on a 3 candle on IWM, but we'll do better tomorrow. So let's take a look at IWM and let's go over the exact setup that you had because I know exactly what you're talking about. So this is today, okay? So this was the trade idea for today, okay? With IWM, this is something that we talked about a few streams ago, right? Actionable signals. What are the candles that I trade? I only trade 3s and failed 2s, okay? Let me go ahead and delete this off real quick. What time do you usually start your live, bro? I try to start them at 7, but lately the sun has just been like too much. So like, I don't know, I might have to switch it up a little bit. But when I live trade in the mornings, those usually start at 9:30. So I'll be live streaming on Wednesday. We'll be trading together on Wednesday. All right, so let's take a look at this, right? So IWM, where'd you go? What was his name? He said I got faked out. Okay, Affluent Wisdom. Okay, Affluent. Let's look at this together. Okay, I want to go over this so you don't make the same mistake tomorrow. I know, like you said, you're gonna get better at it, but I think this is a learning lesson for everybody. Okay, so the very first thing that you would do when you come over to this chart, right? Let me go ahead and delete this off. Eastern time. Okay. So the very first thing that you would look at with IWM, right now we're on the 15-minute time frame. So first off, when the market is about to open, or before the market opens, about 30 to 45 minutes before market opens, even an hour, you want to do your top-down analysis. You want to go from the daily time frame to the 6-hour time frame to the 4-hour time frame to the 2-hour to the 1 hour. You want to see what the picture is painted, what the picture looks like on a higher time frame. So what are the higher time frames telling me before I listen to all the noise on the lower time frames? This is something that I personally do. So you work your way down, right? So let's say you end up doing all of that, right? Right now we're on the 15-minute time frame. So the very first thing that you could have identified when you're watching this is the fact that you have an open gap right here to the left. So you see this open space? You see this open space right here? This is a gap. So overnight, this is during after hour sessions yesterday, and then this is pre-market. So what you should have done in the beginning of the day is mark out this gap. Because what will happen is either gaps will fill or they will continue, meaning that a gap will either come down and fill in this direction, it'll fill this space, or it'll continue going in the opposite direction. Majority of the time, that is what happens when you see a gap. Okay? So, Affluent, if you're still in here, drop a yes down below. I want to make sure you're paying attention. Okay? So, the rest of y'all, I want y'all to drop a yes down below as well if you guys are paying attention, if everything I'm saying right now is making sense. Okay? So, basically, okay, good. That's good to see you. All right, so with this gap here, right, you want to mark this out. Okay? Why does a market gap happen? Sometimes during pre-market, right, or after hour sessions, right, institutions, like, so think of it like this. We can't trade during pre-market. So institutions, investors, banks, hedge funds, they can trade during those hours. They can buy loads of shares. So what could have happened is, hey, a couple, investors came in and said, yo, we want to buy a couple thousand shares or a couple 100,000 shares of IWM, right? And the stock ends up gapping up. And since it ends up gapping up, there wasn't any sellers in this area right here. So what's going on now? Oh my God, the sun is like insane right now, bro. But what ends up happening is there is an imbalance on the chart. So there's an imbalance in buyers and sellers at this level. In between this price range, there's no sellers here. Buyers pushed it up and the sellers never had a chance to come back down. Okay, so this is what the gap is, right? It's an imbalance on the chart. And a lot of times what will happen is the charts like to be balanced, so they'll come back down and fill, or they'll continue going in an opposite direction, right? And it'll come back at a later point, which is why sometimes when you see the market randomly sell off, 9 times out of 10, it probably filled a gap. It was revisiting an old resistance or support level, so on and so forth. Okay? The sun is like absolutely crazy right now on my face. I'm sorry, y'all. It's like low-key, high-key distracting, right? So you mark out the gap fill, okay? That's the first thing that you want to do, right? The next thing you want to look at, right, is the signal right here. This is an actionable signal. So how would I read this? Okay, how would I read this? So the market is making higher highs. First off, you have this high, you have this higher high, you have this higher high. This is a higher high. And this is an actionable signal that we could be coming back down to the opposite end, right? We could be pushing back down. So if I know this is a higher high, when the market opens, I'm not immediately jumping into calls. I'm not immediately looking to take buys and just ride the market up, because that's not my anticipation. I'm not looking at that. I'm saying, hey, higher high. What usually happens after a higher high is a lower high, which is a retracement, a pullback. So y'all know market structure. If something is in an uptrend, you're creating higher highs and higher lows, right? You're creating higher highs and higher lows. So if I know this, right, there's a higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, then there's also higher lows. This is a higher low. This is a higher low. This up here is a higher low. And what do I mean by higher low? It's literally higher than the last low that was behind it, right? So this low is higher than this low. This low is higher than this low. This is what I mean. I'm sorry, y'all couldn't even see it. This low is higher than this low. This low is higher than this low. That is what I mean when I say a higher low. It's like a staircase. The last stair is higher than, or this stair you're currently on is higher than the last stair. Okay? So look at it. It looks like a staircase. This is called an uptrend. If I were to grab a line, right, and I were to draw this out, it would look like this. If I connect this to my higher highs, it's in a channel. You guys see this channel? It's in an uptrend. It's going up, right? Cool. So now that I know this, right, and I see an actionable signal per the strat, a failed 2. This is a failed 2 up. So the candle opens here, it pushes up, and it fails to stay higher, and it ends up retracing back through. And majority of this retracement is almost more than this entire candlestick right here. So it's damn near like an engulfing candle. Think of it like that. Okay, it's damn near like an engulfing candle where we opened, we pushed higher, and then we completely failed and swallowed the whole last candle. This is showing you that sellers are in control. So if I know that sellers are in control, what you should have done in the beginning of the day is you should have said, hey, this is an actionable signal, and per my trading plan, which is right here, y'all can't see it because the sun is like absolutely beaming in my face. Oh my gosh. But because I'm following my trading plan, Tez, or not even Tez, right? Let's just say a part of your trading plan is that if a failed 2 presents itself right when the market is about to open, you're open to trading it. You know it's a high risk trade. So to me, this is a high risk trade. This is a high risk trade. So look what happens. You mark out the high and the low of this candle, okay? And where's your targets? You look at key levels. So you know you have a gap here. You know you have a gap here, so we can mark out this gap right here. So we have this gap, and then you also have previous month highs right here. So these are your levels. If price breaks through 238.48, my first target is 238.18. My second target is previous month high at 237.85. My third target is the gap fill. That's how your targets will look. So when I was talking about this yesterday, when I was saying like, I don't enter a trade unless I know where I'm getting out, I'm like dead serious about that. I do not enter a trade unless I know where I'm getting out. Because at that point, it's hopium. You're hoping that the market just keeps going forever and ever and ever and ever, and it just does not work like that. You've got to have a plan before you go in. So affluent, what you're looking at now is, hey, I know that this is a higher high. I know we can have a retracement, right? But also I have gaps to the downside. It's likely that we could come down and fill these gaps. So look what happens. The next candle opens, and look at the momentum that you have. I mean, you hit every single target, and you come down to another target, which is previous month high. This thing we talked about yesterday, how do you let your trades continue to run? How do you like sit in the trades and maximize the position? This is something that I had to get better at, and I'm still getting better at, okay? The thing that you have to look at is the candlesticks. How does the candlestick close? How does this candlestick close? So the candlestick, this body right here, this is all sellers. They are, and I'm talking complete control right now. There's not a buyer in sight that is taking control right now at this specific moment. So if you know this, the next candle that opens, right? The next candle, yeah, there's literally damn near no wick down here as well. That's a good point, Simone, right? There's literally damn near no wick. When the next candle opens, I'm expecting for sellers to continue in that direction. And look what happens. You have to look at how the body of the candlestick closes. So when we push down to an order block. Right? You push down to an order block. Appreciate it. I thought fail 2 is applied to hammer shooter candles. No. So a fail 2 is basically when a candle opens, it pushes up, it doesn't stay there, and it goes back. That's a fail 2 up. On a fail 2 down, let's say a candle opens, it pushes down, it can't stay down there. Think of it as it can't breathe, right? And then it pushes back through, right? So it doesn't only apply to hammers and shooters. Here's what you should do though. When you are trading, right? When you are trading, you want to understand what a hammer or shooter is. So if you do see these and they're a fail 2 as well, it's like extra confluence. Does that make sense? SOU gang, yeah, shout out to my dog JR. Absolute GOAT. The GOAT. Okay, good. I'm glad that makes sense. Does that make sense to everybody else as well? I know this lesson was specifically for affluent, but I wanted to make sure that I got to him first because it was a good question, but also to share it with you guys so y'all don't make the mistake, if you end up seeing the same type of setup. And then the rest of the day, I think we absolutely bounced from this order block. So when we come down, this is another thing, right? Order blocks are just support. So even if you don't like smart money concepts, even if you don't believe in it, cool. This should have been a level for you. Why do I know this? Because you look left. This was support before in the past. These levels are support from in the past, right? So even if you don't believe in smart money concepts, you don't have to believe in the strategy. You don't have to trade whatever you'd like to trade at the end of the day. It doesn't matter to me, okay? But if you know that this is support, this fail 2 down is an actionable signal. What is an actionable signal? It means you do something when you see it. So you're giving a fail 2 down off of a support level. This means that we are bouncing. Buyers are stepping in. When they step in, right? So this candle opens at the bottom, it pushes lower. It bounces from an order block, right? It pushes back through and it closes. And then we break through a what? Key level. I'm telling you, this happens over and over and over and over and over again. It's actionable signals, right, around key levels. That's all it is. It's the same stuff. I do this every single day. When I get a fail to around previous month high, you see the buyer step back in, right? And you could have taken it back to another order block, which is the next resistance, right? Or you can use this key level right here. This was once one of your targets. This will be another target for calls. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? At 20,000 likes, I'll show all my indicators and you guys can screenshot it. Cooking? Cool, cool, cool. I need moderators in here, yo. Oh my goodness. I need mods, bro. I need mods. I gotta figure out how to do this with Streamlabs though. I don't know. We'll figure it out. No, we definitely need mods. No cap. We need moderators. What time frame do you usually trade on? If I'm trading something like SPX, I'm on the 15 minute. I might find an entry on a higher time frame, but majority of the time I'm watching on the 15. When you say it failed to, what does that look like? It looks like this right here. The candle pushes down, it fails to stay lower, and it pushes back up. And then it bounces. So it's just like a reversal, right? This up here is a fail to, right? You pushed up, you failed to stay higher, push back down. I struggle with marking the right key levels. Sahara, are you using the 50%er indicator? It'll mark it out for you. Best, what's up? Love you dearly. Appreciate you for the roses, love. The video quality top tier, what camera are you using? Sony A6400. Sony A6400. No, okay. So download the 50%er indicator. It's 50%er, like the percent sign, and then ER. I will add it. Thank you. No problem. Yeah, it'll mark out. You got to go in the settings. Just turn on previous day close, previous week close, like the closes, and the opens as well. What market you on? Right now, we're currently looking at IWM. This is options trading. Love you more. I'm out. All right, best. Be safe. Bro, the hard part is not getting emotions involved. Be safe, everybody. I mean, I think human error and human emotion is something that just comes with what we do, right? I think the most important thing that you can do is just acknowledge that you do feel like, you know, sometimes your emotions is heightened, and you got to get to the bottom of that. Like, are you like majority of the time, if you feel like your emotions are just too involved, it's a few different things, right? It's either A, you're sizing up too much, you're leveraging too much capital, right? So maybe size down. Only leverage anywhere from like 3 to 5% of your account, right? If you're feeling like that, if you're a little bit more risk averse and you like being a little bit more risky, like you're risky in every other area of life, so you like, hey, when it comes to money, I'm a little bit riskier, you know, you can go up towards like 7 to 10% if that's what works for you, right? But for the majority of people, I don't think they're there yet because they don't have enough reps. So size down, go to like 3 to 5% of your portfolio size. You might be like, oh, well, I'm not making a whole bunch of money, like all that stuff. It's cool. We're not worried about making money. We just worried about building an account. Where do you turn on the settings for the 50%er again? So if you come over, damn, I can't actually show it because y'all can't see it. But if you like, when you click the indicator and you add it to your chart, on the top left, under the ticker symbol, you should see like a little number. It'll say show indicators legend. You click that and it'll pull up all of your indicators over here. And this is the settings tool right here. Okay. All right. So we at 20K likes. All right. Bet. We at 20K. All right. So here, y'all can screenshot this. These are all my indicators right here. There you go. Screenshot. Hey, I'm in your phone now. I'm in your phone. When your man's ass look, just know I don't got no problems with him, you know? Do you mind sharing your chart template? You just screenshot this. I'm all in your phone like this. Your man's open up and be like, hey, who is this? Don't worry, babe. He's just teaching me some stuff. He teaching you what? What do you think about McDonald's? What about it? The chart, or are you saying like just the company itself? Which indicator is the one for the numbers? This one right here. Strat assistant. Good thing my man on live too. What up, gang? You feel me? You feel me? Can you do live trading? Do you have YouTube? Yes. Dantes Akram on YouTube. I live traded 3 times last week. We closed green all 3 times. This week I'll be live trading on Wednesday and Thursday. Maybe Friday too if we feeling like a little bit of a lotto Friday. We'll see what's going on. But yeah. All right, cool. There's my indicators. Bada boom, bada bang. If you didn't get them, now you got to get to 50,000 likes. What's your Twitch account? It should be _realtez on Twitch. I got a few people on here on Twitch. Shout out to all my people on Twitch. Hope y'all are enjoying. Shout out to all my YouTube people as well. All right, cool. So you guys understand what a fail 2 is. So everything that we just kind of covered right now, we went over a fail 2. So we got fail 2 up and a fail 2 down. We went over key levels. We also talked about gaps. So playing for the gap, this filled that gap and it hit all of your targets and some. This is why it's important to leave runners. I need to join. Look at when you get in and why. Do you have a Discord? Yeah, I do have a Discord. As of right now, the paid version is currently thoughts on Snapchat stock. I'll take a look at it. Right now, the paid version is currently closed. We hit capacity right now. But if you guys want something similar to it, it's free, but you guys can join the live workshop. So if you guys, I think the best way to do it is just go click the link in my bio. So if you just click off of here real quick, I won't drop too much crazy game while you're gone, but just go register for the live workshop that is in my bio. The sun is hitting my face right now, so I can't like show y'all my screen on my phone. So I'll do it a little bit later. But yeah, the live workshop, I can only seat 1,000 people via Zoom. And inside of there, we'll go over the Strat, smart money concepts, order blocks, gaps, risk management, risk to reward. We'll go over all of that. Where do you announce when you're going live? Usually Twitter. Or my Instagram. I don't really do it too much on Instagram. People on Instagram, they cool and all, but like, I just don't feel like they really hear. They not really trying to learn, so I don't want them to even take up space inside of my live. Just to be completely honest with you, like I want to just talk to people who are serious and who actually like looking at charts and not want to be BSing around. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so we went over this. Let's take a look at QQQ, which actually ended up. See, even this price action right here, this wouldn't have been the best. I mean, outside of the opening point, I mean, I don't know. This wasn't really ideal. Instagram just for the flicks, not for real. They really don't be caring about nothing. It's like YouTube. YouTube is definitely the best audience you can possibly have, though. That is why I'm like so focused on YouTube and building my community there. I think we're at like 73,000 subscribers on YouTube. TikTok is definitely second. I think they're both first. I love my TikTok people. There's more virality chances, and I just meet a lot of new people from TikTok too. So I'll probably say they're neck and neck right now. But YouTube just has the best community. Even though I'll be having trolls, I'll get trolls across all platforms. But for the most part, I think it's pretty simple. Let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so let's take a look at this chart. So same thing here, QQQ. So the tech sector, we had a quick pop, right? We ended up consolidating here in this order block before we ended up coming back down to where we opened at in price. So another thing is, if we look at Robinhood, which is what we called out in the Discord today, Robinhood was a very, very clean setup. You can see that my chart is still marked up from when we called this out. So where did this entry come from? Well, this was from the fact that Robinhood was added into the S&P 500. Was it yesterday or Friday? I think it was Friday or something like that, right? So there was going to be a lot of volume and momentum around the name itself. So because I trade volume, because we trade momentum, right? I like to trade things where there's going to be a lot of momentum. So the very first thing you do is you come to the chart, and when it's announced that they got added into the S&P 500, you had a ton of whales, big money. They start sizing into this, right? So it pushes up and it gaps the market up. So we go from 101 to 107.30, right? Now, pre-market today, we started consolidating a little bit and we break out of this consolidation range. So from, this range in between these levels here, we break out of here. And this was our entry that I gave out earlier today in the Discord. So let's actually take a look at it just so you guys can see it as well. So this is in the Discord. If we go to day trading signals, so Robinhood just included into SPY. Look for calls above 111 and puts below 107. You can also verify the time frame, right? So this is at 8:51 a.m. The market doesn't open until 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So I send these out every single day to my group. They can pretty much just trade it. You can see who's trading it. So we have some people paper trading. We have others who are trading it. So, he made $152 on this call out. Other people are trying their strategies. She hit for 47%. So I did, but I got out about, I did, but I got in and out. I'm out with the family, so took profits and stepped out. So she was able to do this while she was with her family. 121% on IWM. This is a trade setup that we talked about as well. Same exact setups every single day. It's the same stuff over and over. It's just people who are in the group taking them. So again, the entry is above 110. Your target is the gap fill. So we ended up filling the gap, and then we hit our last target towards the end of the day, which was 117. So our entry in the group was 110.99 or 111, which was the exact entry. And then your target 1 is 114.10. Target 2 is 117. So these paid a little under 200%. Very decent trade, and it all happened in a matter of a day. You could have even swung this. You could have, if you can't sit at the computer all day, you could have took the entry as soon as it triggered, and then you could have bought same week contracts or next week contracts, and you could have kept holding it until you know what I'm saying, it kept stockpiling up if it decides to continue running. What email will we receive a reminder from the workshop, or will we receive text? You will receive both of them closer to the date. It's going to be on the 21st. So just make sure you guys are registered for it. All right, y'all, we halfway there to 50,000 likes. Let's get to 50K likes, and I'll bring back up the indicators, and maybe I'll go over the settings of the indicators. Would you suggest the live workshop to beginners? I do think it would work for beginners as long as you have a 9 to 5 and you have like a few $1,000s liquid. I would say you can go to it. If you're a little bit like, if you're already struggling, I think it'll be better for like struggling traders. But yeah, you trade like this. Yes, this is how I trade. So everything I'm showing you is exactly how I trade, entries and everything. Okay. What other questions do you guys have? What other questions do you guys have? So back to what I was saying today, back here, this was all consolidation. This is choppiness. Like I want to see clean breakouts above levels, and I want to see clean momentum in that direction. This just wasn't that. I mean, you got a strong move up, came back down, consolidated the rest of the day, and then you had a pop at the end of the day. How much is the workshop? The workshop is free. When will spots be available for the Discord? I'll be giving out spots on the workshop, so you just got to make sure you're there at the workshop. It's still going to be limited though, just so we can make sure quality control is good. What are you using right now to read the charts? What do you mean, indicators or? Is the workshop in your bio? Yes, it's the first link in my bio. Are you saying like indicators, or what do you mean? What do I use to read the chart? Just buy good stocks and hold. I agree. Oh yeah, TradingView. This whole thing right here, this platform I'm using is TradingView. It's just my setup is a little bit different, like my chart settings and all that stuff. It might be a little different than the majority of other people out there. Yo, shout out to Indo. Yo, Indo, appreciate the sub. Fellow, appreciate the sub. BJ, appreciate the sub, bro. Abraham, thank you for the sub. Anne Ray, appreciate you for the follow. Christopher, appreciate you for the sub. Thank you guys for subbing up. I greatly appreciate it. Dave, appreciate the sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Yo, I appreciate all the gifteds as well. Appreciate all the gifteds. Green is bearish, red is bearish. Green is bullish, red is bearish. It go by the numbers on the side. So these candlesticks, right? I explained it in one of the videos. You just got to go back and watch it. Some of these candlesticks, like this one is red, right? It's red with a green outline around it. So this is actually a green candlestick, but at one point in time it was red. So it opened here, it pushed all the way down, and then buyers stepped back in and closed higher. I do options only. I don't do Forex. How to use, you got to use TradingView to download 50% indicator. Got to use TradingView. How much for a class? Our group is currently closed right now. I apologize. Just soak up all the free game that I'm giving out though. There's no amount of money you can pay me right now to accept. Quality control is the best and most important thing. So like when the opportunity does present itself, just be the first person there. But other than that, there's a free course that you guys can watch. It's like a 6-hour course you can go through if you don't know the strat and all this stuff that's on my chart. I have a free course that's in my bio. It comes with like I said, a free 6-hour course. It goes through everything. So you can feel free to just take advantage of that and just watch that. You don't have to pay me anything right now. You know what I'm saying? Like Just sit back, enjoy the vibes. Is my Tesla calls cooked? Let's take a look at Tesla. You might be smoked, my boy. Oh yeah, they got obliterated. Oh my lord. 350 calls for Friday. Okay, so let's look at the higher time frames first. Oh yeah, you might be cooked, my boy. You might be smoked. You might be turkey legs, my boy. So looking at this candlestick, first off, you're in a supply zone, right? You're in a level, right? This is resistance up here. So if I just did this right here, if I just plot this line, this was resistance here. We broke down, came back up, retested, broke back through. This was support. Then it became resistance again, resistance, resistance. So first off, that's that, right? This is on the daily time frame. So this is a 356 is a key level for Tesla, right? So looking at this, first off, you have resistance. Second off, you have a failed two up. So you probably got trapped in this. So a failed two up is where you trap the buyers. So this candle, it opens at the top, it pushes higher, it pushes over this level. And this is a liquidity grab, right? Or a sweep of liquidity, whatever way you want to say it. It's where people, institutions push up higher. They get all these people to bait and jump into calls, right? And then they swing it back in the opposite direction. And then with a failed two up, right? This is an actionable signal. If tomorrow, if it breaks under 344.82, it could come down and fill this gap at 338. And then it has another gap down here at 326, about 325. So I'm not saying you're completely cooked. You will have to wait to see what price action does tomorrow. Don't forget, you also have data this week as well. So if the data comes out good, you never know. The market could make a run. The market could make a run. But right now you're stuck in an order block. So, I mean, if depending on your contracts, when you got them, you know what I'm saying, the Theta might eat at you for a little bit too. What is a good stock to buy and hold? I don't give investment advice. I'm sorry. I only give like entries of stuff that I'm buying in my group. I don't want to get hit with no lawsuits or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? What do you do when red or green are the same size in an order block? Are you saying from an example from right here, or? So usually what I'll do if a candlestick is stuck in an order block, I'll wait for it to clear the order block. Because a lot of times what will happen is it can get stuck in an order block and it can just chop up. As a beginner wanting to learn, would you recommend your Discord, or is it for intermediate traders? The free version of my Discord is for complete beginners. If you don't know what a stock is, you don't know what a share is, you don't know what a chart is, you don't know. It's like I'm talking the most beginner friendly thing you could possibly have. OMG Tez, when did you start trading? I've been trading for a minute. I've been long-term investing longer than I was trading, like day trading though. I got started long-term investing. I don't know if y'all follow me, if y'all follow along my journey, if you go back and look at my Instagram and stuff like that, if you just scroll down on my Instagram, actually no, I think I archived a lot of stuff. But if you go look at my YouTube, there's a video on my YouTube that's like 4 years ago of me breaking down my portfolio. At the time I was like 21 with a $180,000 portfolio and how I had grew it. And I broke down all the stocks I was buying and all that stuff. Are you in a trade right now? No, we're not anything right now. We're just kind of reviewing the charts. And kind of looking at things that could potentially help us moving forward. Tesla, yeah, you got this 3. This is a liquidity grab up here. This resistance, we pushed up, swung back through, right? Comes all the way back down to these levels. We're going to see what it does. Any chance you go over your last trade? Yeah, let's go over it. We can go over my trade. So I ended up closing today red. I knew I probably shouldn't have taken a trade today, but at the end of the day, it followed my strategy, right? So at the end of the day, I took the trade. So the very first thing that I had noticed, right now I'm on a 3-minute time frame. So at the end of the day, if I take a trade at the last, like, I would say anywhere from like the last 15 to 20 minutes of the day, what I'll personally do is I'll watch the 3-minute and the 5-minute time frames, okay? So the thing that I had noticed right here is during around this time, this is around 3:48. This is when I'm in the market, I'm watching the charts. I'm like, hey, price is stuck in this range and I want to clear of this range, right? So my calls entry was above 64.03 at the end of the day, okay? So I take the entry off of a 212, but on the 5-minute, this is what my entry looks like. When I had this candle right here, this long rejection, right? When I see this candle and you get a rejection like this at a resistance level, this is showing me that buyers are in control. They had already pushed the market up, right? You get this candle showing that they're still in control. So I take the entry above this line. We're also breaking out of this range. And it just didn't move fast enough. It was like moving super, super slow. And at the end of the day, like you gotta really expect like a really, really quick move. So I think the most of my contracts went up were like 12%. And then it ended up consolidating right here. And then it just killed the contracts. But I sized for 0 on that trade. So I was okay with whatever, like if I ended up losing the trade, I was okay with how much I put in with losing. So that was a trade that I took. If I had to learn from this trade, I would have probably just not taken the trade because Mondays tend to be pretty low on volume. So I think the only learning lesson is like, hey, if the day chops up in the beginning of the day on a Monday, it's better to just not even look for the end of day move either. I think that would be one thing that I would take note of. That's something that I journaled for myself earlier. Is like, hey, you know, Monday was is usually are very choppy. I would have rather just sit cash the rest of the day, like I told myself in the beginning, instead of coming back at the end of the day. Now, did the trade end up working for a little bit? It did, but I didn't close green. So at the end of the day, it didn't work. You know what you're doing. Appreciate you, Adrian. Yeah, so the trade just didn't work. And that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think, and that's why I said too, like when I live trade, I think it's important for y'all to see me take an L or get stopped out of a trade. So y'all don't just think that every time I trade is green, because that's not the case. There's a lot of times where I'll take L's. Like a lot of times. It's part of trading. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no person who has a 100% win rate. You know what I'm saying? I take L's. Now, granted, the times that I'm streaming, I'm like super dialed in on following my plan because I'm trying to set an example for the rest of other people who are watching me to also follow their plan. So when you follow your plan, you end up making money, and that's just what happened last week. What do you use to place your trades on? I use Webull personally. I like Webull a lot. If you buy the stock before resistance, how did you end up in the red? So I bought it here, but the contract, the Theta, is too high on the contract. So look at this. If you come down here and you look all the way at the bottom here, this entry was at 353 or 354. When we broke through resistance right here, this move didn't happen it wasn't like a pop. It was just sitting here chopping. And then towards the last few seconds of the candle, this is when this pop happened. And it just wasn't fast enough. The Theta was already killing my contracts. So every time this candlestick pulled back a little bit, the Theta was just hitting the contracts, and it just wasn't helping the contracts at all. So like I said, the contracts were green when I first got in, right? And I was up maybe 12%. But like when this starts snapping back and pulling back and the time is still going forward while Theta is still hitting the contracts didn't end up in the money. So they ended up, expiring worthless. But that's a great question, Dion. Yeah, that's how the trade didn't work. Now, granted, if this was futures, this would have worked. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have closed out. I don't trade futures though, but hey, it would have worked out if I would have just kept letting it go to my target. But when you're trading options, you have Theta and these contracts expire. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I'll say I really like about futures is, you know what I'm saying? Like futures is really good when you don't have to deal with like the Theta, man. I hate the Theta on contracts on options, bro. And I think futures trading is so much easier to trade too. Not easier, I'm sorry, let me retract. It's easier to enter and manage a trade. Like you can move your stop loss, you can move your TP, all within a click of a button and a move of a mouse. With options, you gotta go in, you gotta manually put the contract price of where you want it to sell at. Like it's just so much additional stuff that I really dislike, and I don't think they're ever gonna change it unless I just move over to futures. But I like options. I like being able to turn a small amount of money into a large amount of money. Good transparency, my dude. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like one of the things about me, like if I take an L, I'm gonna tell y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because like y'all gonna take L's too. I think it's more important that y'all see me take an L and you realize that, hey, you're gonna lose in this. Because I think a lot of times people only post winning trades. People only talk about profits. People don't talk about the L's. They don't talk about the L's. That's why I was this girl in the live yesterday where she was like, hey, Tez, I've been kind of discouraged. I lost $17,000 day trading. And I'm like, yo, I feel you, because I was crashing out earlier this year. I was down 37,000 in my account, but I brung it back to be green, up 53,000. what happened in that series, I mean, just mental. Like, I'm human at the end of the day. I was fucking up. I was doing a lot of stuff. I wasn't following my plan. I just started spiraling. And then when I said, hey, the pain that I'm going through of continuously losing feels worse than me just listening and following my plan, I just stuck to following my plan, and I just was able to just compound and bring it back. So it's like, you know, I think it's important for y'all to see other traders lose or be in the red. And that's why I think, like, that's why I like doing these streams and I like getting on these videos, because it's like, I don't care what y'all think if I close red or not. It's me versus me when I'm in the market. So at the end of the day, if it can just give you a perspective, then, you know, for me, I think that's amazing. If you would have bought next day and sold today, you would have been green because the theta would be lower. That would have been the case. But I'm trading SPX, so next day contracts would have probably been pretty expensive. And then also, if it opened up negative, I would have lost more money because the contracts are more expensive. Yeah, those next day contracts are expensive as hell on SPX. And then if it doesn't move in my direction, you can open up instantly in the red. I spiraled and lost 21K in a day. It's just market tuition. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to pay their tuition. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one's going to make it out without paying some type of tuition. You're either going to pay in time or you're going to pay in money. But you're going to pay. Either way, that's just what's going to happen. Doesn't matter if you pray before every trade. It don't matter if you got the best mentor in the world. Like I said, no one has a 100% win rate. It's bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? What are some good tools you feel are useful to have a star buy and trading view? I'll say like the Strat Assistant. If you trade the Strat, Smart Money Concepts by Lux Algo, VWAP. So this blue dotted line over here, VWAP, that's pretty important. I use this all the time, every day. But yeah, those would be the main ones. But yeah, that was the trade that I took today. We already went over Hood. QQQ wasn't really anything that I would have wanted to look at. IWM was a clean, like I'm talking super clean setup. You just had to take the fail to right here at pre-market. And then, I mean, literally every single target was hit. And then you had a reversal. You could have caught the reversal back up too. This would have paid you very nicely off the order block. Yeah. These setups happen all the time. I think the biggest thing is you just got to comprehend what's going on in the chart while the chart is active. Like, it's easy for someone like me or like anyone to come on here and just talk about what you could have done. But like, that's why I said live stream is important, because I want you to come in and see me do it live. Watch me read the candlesticks and speak out loud to you so you know how I'm reading it. What's the blue dots mean? That's the VWAP. Do you think your strategy can work for Forex as well, or would you say it's strictly for options? I'm pretty sure people use this for futures. So if it works for futures, you can do it for Forex as well. I don't see why it wouldn't work. You trade futures? No, I don't trade futures. Cameron, come on, bro. Don't be on that weird stuff, bro. I don't want to have to block you from the channel, gang. Don't be on that, my boy. Don't be on that, please. Rakeem, thank you for the sub. Sean in the city, appreciate you for the sub. Thank you guys for the subs. What are the yellow candles? This is consolidation. It's called a 1 bar or an inside bar. It's called a 1 bar or inside bar. It's just basically consolidation. Okay, I can finally show y'all since the sun went away. So look, if you guys are in the live right now, okay, here's what you can do. For those of you guys who are asking me, again, my Discord is closed. I'm sorry, I'm not opening up spots right now. I'm sorry, okay? But what you can do is take advantage of the free game. Why? Well, like, I know y'all want to pay me, but like, it's good. I don't want nothing from you. I just want you to sit back and enjoy the vibes. All I want for you is a follow and to join the workshop, okay? If you meet the criteria, join the workshop. So inside of my account, right? This is what my account looks like right here, okay? If you're on the live, all you got to do to get to this page is to click at the top part of this live, all the way at the top, and you click on my name and it'll take you over to my account, okay? Make sure you hit the follow button while you're there, okay? The first thing you want to do is you want to click this link that is in my bio right there, okay? So you're going to click this. It's going to pop this up, right? It's going to have 3 different links. It's going to go take you to my YouTube, Instagram, and Linktree, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to click the first link. It's going to take you to Linktree. And you're going to register for the live workshop right here if you want to come to the live workshop. So this is for people If you have a 9 to 5, if you have an active income, or if you have a few $1,000s liquid, right, and you're currently struggling, it's hard for you to become profitable, you're just continuously blowing accounts, this workshop is for you. If you are a complete beginner and you are broke and you have no money and you do not want to learn this, do not join the workshop. It is 100% not for you. Okay, it is 1000% not for you. If you fall into a different category where right now funds are a little tight, your best option is to go to the second link right here. This will take you to a free 6-hour course, and I send free trades in there like 2 times a week where you can just take some free game and just enjoy the vibes. You'll join other people who trade and they, enjoy the vibes as well. But it's a 6-hour curriculum that you can go through. If y'all give me to 50,000 likes, I'll give y'all a walkthrough of what the inside of the free course looks like. Okay, I'll give you a walkthrough of what the free course looks like. I think it's 7 hours. It's either 6 or 7 hours, right? You could pretty much just watch the whole thing for free. You don't got to put a card number in. You don't got to do none of that, right? But if you guys give me the 50,000 likes on TikTok, I'll pull it up for you. Master Bolt, I use it for futures. Dope. Yeah, you can use it for futures. You can use it for Forex. The Strat works. I'm pretty sure the Strat works for across all assets. Thank you. What a blessing. I appreciate you. No problem. Yeah. I feel like if y'all go through my free stuff, right, and it's not better than the paid stuff, then I'm not doing a good job, right? The paid stuff that you've paid for in the past. Like, my goal is to show you that my free stuff is a lot better than most people's $1,000 course. And I'm willing to prove it by just giving you access to it. All you got to do is put your email and your phone number in, and I'll email you your credentials to get in. And you see for yourself, and you let me know. If it's not meeting the criteria, I'll adjust. I would love to learn what are the best websites to start off. You can just watch the 6-hour course that I have in my bio. You can watch the whole thing for free. It's like YouTube, but like higher quality. On your YouTube is the video that says how to do trade, explain the candles and numbers. Yes. Well, no, you got to look at it should be one like how to trade the Strat. If it says that on my channel, then that's the one. There's 633 likes. Lisa, appreciate you. Lisa's spamming the likes. Y'all gonna let Lisa out spam y'all? Come on now. We at 28,000 likes. At 50,000 likes, I'll give y'all an overview of the entire free course. So just keep spamming away. In the meantime, while you guys are doing that, I'll also talk about different time frames. So someone earlier said they have a hard time looking at different time frames when trading. One of the things that I'll tell you is the 1 hour time frame has been really, really, really good for me. You just have to understand what type of signals or actionable signals you take on higher time frames. Okay. So what I mean by this, let me go ahead and delete this. Was this gap filled? No, I'm going to delete this. This target was hit, gap was filled, and these order blocks are the same. Okay. So on the 1 hour time frame, the 1 hour time frame will tell you, this is actually the 90-minute. That's why I was looking weird. The 1 hour time frame will tell you a picture as well. So how did I know that this was a consolidation day? Well, when we had this sell off here, the next candle opens and pushes lower and then fails, right? Fails to go lower. We push back up. This next candle pushes up and fails to go higher and comes back down. And then we consolidate before we get a move at the end of the day. These 3 candles right here, a 3, then a failed 2 down, failed 2 up, like all of this right here is what I call a storm of BS, right? I'll say that in the group, you know what I'm saying? I stand on it, like if I see those candlesticks back to back to back from each other, I won't trade because it's indecision, it's indecisiveness. You're asking to donate money to www.stock.com and that you're just the top donator, you're the top gifter, you know what I'm saying? So I personally, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, I'm good. There's always another trade. I want to see consistent price action. I want to see price moving in a particular direction, right? Like I want to see breakouts around key levels. I want to see us break through order blocks. I want to see these things because this is showing me like, hey, these are levels that are being broken, which means that there's strength and there's momentum behind it. It's not just a move just happening at any time of the day. And this is why I only trade the first 2.5 hours of the day or the last hour of the day. And then at that point, it's just about you sizing correctly, right? Like a lot of y'all are blowing y'all account because y'all do not know how to properly size into your account. Here's what you do. I'm gonna bring this up. Let me go ahead and delete that. Let's turn this off. Here's what you should be doing, okay? You have your account size. Let's say your account size is $2,500, okay? Let's say you have a $2,500 account, right? You should not be going into a trade with $1,000. You should not be going into a trade with $1,000. If your account is at $2,500, why are you leveraging almost 50% of your account? This is about 40% of your account. Why are you leveraging that much? So when people be like, oh, my nerves and my emotions and things like that, it's probably because the amount of money you're leveraging is too significant. Size down. Why are you leveraging $1,000, right? Why not leverage $200? Why not leverage 200? Right? 500 at the most. That's like, you know, like you have experience trading. That's the only time I would say even leverage 500. You know what I'm saying? But leverage 200. Stop trying to make money overnight. Focus on following your strategy every day. Focus on that first. Right? So let's say you have a $2,500 account, right? What I would say is leverage 3 to 5% of your account, right? Leverage 3 to 5% of your account. So if you have a $2,500 account, 3%, 3% of $2,500 is equivalent to, let's pull out the handy dandy calculator, 2,500 times 3.5%. This is $88. This is $87.50. Okay? 5% of $2,500 is equivalent to, okay, $125. This is what you're sizing in. This is how much money you should be trading with. From here, right, you should be setting a stop loss at 40 to 50%. I signed up for the free case study but haven't received it yet. Check your spam and your junk mail. Okay? Are y'all seeing this? Let me turn this off real quick so y'all can see everything. Sadie ATR levels day. Okay, boom. Do y'all see this right here? Can everybody see this? Drop a yes down below if y'all can see this. Drop a yes below. Do you think it makes sense to start trading anything lower than $1,000 account? I mean, if that's all you have, then absolutely. You know, but if you have enough money to really go in with more, then I would say go in with more. Because here's the thing, you're not leveraging the whole thing. You're gonna build it over time. MJ, what up, bro? What's up, fam? How's everything, bro? Okay, good. Everyone this makes sense, right? So here's the thing, right? Whoops, this is supposed to be a percent sign. I made the mistake by going in too much. It's all good. You know, that's why you're here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn your lesson from this. It's okay. Okay, can you trade with $100? Yeah, you can trade IWM. The contracts are anywhere from like $10 all the way up to about $80. Okay. I plan on doing like a live series, a 1K to 10K series. Like I don't know how I need to structure it, but I think I want to take all the entries live. The only issue is that my editors were saying that the clips and like the content to post like after the live may not be as good. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. So like my goal is like I'm gonna put $1,000 into a Webull account and just trade it live with you. Like call out the entries, and if I lose, you see me lose live. If I win, you see me win live. But the only issue is when I want to go post it for content, it's not gonna be the same as me with like my setup without it being strictly for live, right? Because like how I'm recording like this stream right now is a different layout than how I would record it if I was creating content, like if I was creating a short form piece of content. Does that make sense? I don't know. I think I just confused everybody in here, including myself. Basically, you need a dual camera. Exactly. That's basically what I need. I need to basically have another camera where like I can record myself doing everything instead of taking it from the stream and then it doesn't look as good. Like it has to be something worth watching on a short form side. So I might just need to buy another camera. I have a DJI, but I guess the quality doesn't really matter, I guess. I don't know. As long as I'm doing it, I guess that matters most. I don't know. I'll be overcomplicating stuff. You can record 2 OBSs at the same time, but the thing is, I'm using a laptop. Can you have 2? Well, I'm using Streamlabs. I don't even use OBS. That's the thing. It's a whole nother thing that I just thought about. What is the resistance or support indicator, or what is the support and resistance? I just drew those myself. This looks good though? Okay. This looks good? Okay, cool. So this is what your account should be looking like. So it does not matter your account size. You should be doing this regardless of your account size. If my account is at 100K, I am still doing the same risk management rules. This grows over time. So if your account goes up tomorrow, let's say you hit a trade and it does well, and your account is at 2,700, you still keep taking 3 to 5% of your account. If you decide that you want to stick with 3.5% of your account, stick with 3.5% of your account until your account doubles or triples. Okay? Are y'all following me? Like, is everything tracking right now? Is everything clicking right now? Do not start sizing up. Don't go up to 5% just because you feel like, oh, today might be a good day. I'm getting lucky. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case might be. You know, don't try to do that to yourself, because I'm telling you, you're going to cook your portfolio over time, yo. Your losses are going to outweigh your wins. Stick with a certain percent. If it's going to be 3% every day, stick with 3%, period. I'm not saying per trade. I'm saying per day. 3% of your account is what you're going to trade with per day. Not per trade, per day. Y'all tracking me? Drop a yes in the chat if everyone heard me, if everything I'm saying right now is clicking. The market humbles the best traders. LOL. Everyone gets humbled at some point. Absolutely. Everybody got to pay that market tuition. Come on now. It's like the military back in the day. If you was a boy, you're getting enrolled. You know what I'm saying? You are getting in there. And there's no way you're getting out of there. Boom. Lights. Action, baby. Action. Okay, this is how you grow an account though, okay? So now what happens is if you lose a trade, right? Let's say you lose, let's say you're sizing for 3%. If you lose this trade, right, what ends up happening is you get stopped out at, let's say, 50%. So $87.50 divided by 2, right? You lose $43.75. So I want y'all to listen to me when I say this. You losing $43, you're not about to lose your house. You're not about to lose your car. You're not about to just lose everything. You're not about to lose everything. It's $50. It's $43. It's 2 meals at McDonald's. So the reason I say this the way I'm saying it is because I want you to change your framework of how you think about money. If you tell yourself $43 isn't a bunch of money, when you take the trade and it's going against you, just remember, it's not that much money. My life is not going to change. The problem is people are trading with money that could potentially mess up their life. So if you're trading with your rent money and then the trade does not go your way, you will be sleeping outside. You will be sleeping outside. You will be back at your mom's basement. You will be living with your grandparents. Just being honest. No, like I'm like so serious. Like I know a lot of y'all are laughing right now, but I'm like so serious. I know a lot of people who went broke investing and trading because they didn't know risk management, because they didn't know what they were doing with their money. They didn't know that you should be protecting your money first and then focused on growing it. You protect your capital first and then you grow it. This is why Warren Buffett was one of the best investors, is still one of the best investors of all time. Think about this. He said that if I were to give investing advice, not me saying it, TikTok, please do not restrict this account. Please, again, please. He said that if I were to give advice to somebody, he said that, hey, I would tell you if I gave you a punch card and there's only 20 punches that you can make on it. Out of these 20 punches, these are the stocks that you can invest in. These are the companies you can invest in. These are the trades that you can make. You can only get 20. You would be a lot more critical when it comes to what you're putting your money in if you only had 20 options. If you only had 20 chances, you would be way more analytical with how you invest in things. Way more. You would be looking into the company's moats. You'll be looking into the balance sheets. You'll be looking into P&L. Like, and when I say I do this stuff, like I'll open up Yahoo Finance. And I think people think that this is a game. Like, if you're gonna take the market serious, take it serious. People come into the market, try to give the little, like the least amount, but then expect the biggest return. It doesn't work like that. If you come in here and you're half-assing it, you're gonna get half-ass results. Why would you think that you're gonna train to go up against LeBron and you're gonna train like you just, going up against somebody at the YMCA or something? And then when LeBron come out there after training like he's dedicated his life to it, like he's put 2 feet in and he's really about that, and it's a blowout, right? Why would you expect to have an amazing return? It doesn't make sense. Are y'all tracking me? Are y'all following along? Michael Jordan, even if it's MJ, LeBron, Steph Curry, KD, you getting yammed on. It's over. You lose, right? So don't come into this with the small mindset. Come into it with, hey, I just want to put 2 feet in. I want to do this over. Like, stop trying to say, I want to make money. Say, I want to still be here 120 days later. Stop trying to make money and just worry about still being here 200 days later. That should be your real goal. Because if you're not here 200 days later, 200 deers, that's crazy. If you're not here 200 days later, you just wasted all of that time going through all of these videos, coming to these live streams, watching these free courses. It was all a waste of time. How many times are you going to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again? If time is the thing that you have the least amount of, why are you treating it like you just have so much of it? People do this all the time. They jump from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing. All I'm telling you to do is just show up. That's it. Show up, lose some trades, win some trades, learn some things. Keep going. So with your sample, $87 will be my daily profit goal. So with this particular case scenario, you could look for 100% return, or you could take, they're called base hits. So what a base hit is, can I remove this, y'all? Do y'all still need this, or am I good? Can I remove this, y'all? Can I like delete this out, or y'all still need this? For, I think y'all are good. I don't think y'all need this no more. If I had my hat like this, people would not be joining my live. Okay, I'm good. All right, cool. Tomorrow, I'm cutting this beard off. This shit is not connecting. All right, cool. Get rid of it. Almost at 50K likes, y'all. Almost there. Appreciate y'all. Okay, cool. So what is a base hit? Right? Base hit is $30 to 60%. This is how I would categorize a base hit. Hitting 30 to 50% is so doable. Tasha, what up? Shout out to Tasha from TSA. Greatly appreciate you for pulling up. Hopefully you like it. If there's anything I can help you with, Tasha, you got priority status in here. You let me know whatever I can do to make the experience better for you. Okay. But a base hit is 30 to 60%. Like, this is something like, I'm talking, I could go and show y'all how many people are hitting 30% on the minimum. Like, this is minimum. I don't even want to take profits under 30%, to be completely honest with you. I'd rather let it go red than take profits under 30%, just to be completely honest with you, right? So this is a base hit. And what a base hit is if you can consistently get 30 to 60% returns on a trade, right? And you can stack these up over 3 to 4 days. Let's say you have 3 trades that go green and they all hit for 30%. Well, even if you lose one trade, you're still up about 40%, right? So the thing is like, you have to make sure in order to grow your account, right? Your wins have to outweigh your losses. Boom. A base hit is between 30 to 60%. In order to grow your trading account, your wins have to outweigh your losses. So even if you're losing more trades, you are still not in the negative. The problem is you don't stick to your rules. That's why your account is not growing. It may not even be the strategy, right? Because supply and demand works. Trading support and resistance works. Trading the Strat and ICT and SMC and all of these things work. They work. It's that you aren't making it work because you keep trying to change things. You keep thinking that you're the oddball out, so you can just make a couple tweaks and it's gonna work for me. No, it doesn't work like that. This is why you create bada boom, bada bang, a trading plan, and you follow it. And I get it. There's gonna be some people in here like, man, I don't need no trading plan, bro. He don't know what he's talking about. He ain't even da 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 da. Okay, cool. You gotta learn your lesson. You got to learn your lesson. If you got to bump your head, like God will keep giving you the same lesson over and over and over. You keep hitting your head in the same spot over and over and over until you learn the lesson. I'm not God. I'm not about to sit here and try to drill it to you and make you get it. You just got to go learn your lesson, to be completely honest with you. I'm guilty. It's all good. It's human error. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're human. The goal is to limit the errors. You're not going to completely eliminate them, but you want to try to minimize them as much as you can. How long you been trading? I got started in 2021. This is a great live test. Definitely going to rewatch it later. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you guys are liking it. I learned my lesson. Big facts. Absolutely. It happens to all of us, you know? Like, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? I paid my 10K tuition never again. Hey, it happens like that, you know? It happens. Everybody got to pay their tuition. That's why it's like, you just got to make sure you guys are getting the right information. For real, for real. That's really what you got to do. Yo, can somebody let me know how many people we got in the TikTok live right now? I have to learn to cut my losses quicker. Just set a stop loss. Know when to get out of your trade. You have targets and you have a stop loss. Don't change them. 250? Yo, shout out to everybody in TikTok. We lit. We lit. Can you share some of the things on your trading plan? Okay. Is it okay if I build a trading plan with y'all? Let's say if you're, all right, so look, if y'all give me the 50K likes, I'll build a trading plan with you. Get to 50K likes and I'll build the trading plan right here with you. And you can just copy it. Can we do that? Every time you ask, viewers disappear. They fake. That's all good. Whoever's supposed to listen to this is going to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no control over that. So I mind my business. I mind my business and I keep showing up and I keep doing what I feel like I enjoy, which is this. So, okay. So, your new trading plan. Okay, there's 50K. Cool. Appreciate y'all. Thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate it. 50K likes, that is insane. We gotta get to the point where we're averaging 100 though. This is our new support level. So next time I come back live and y'all hear me talking about 75K, you know what I'm saying? All right, so let's talk about your new trading plan, okay? We are going to go over this and give you guys a trading plan that you can follow, okay? Should have said 70K. I probably should have, to be honest with you. Probably should have. All right, so number one, a part of your trading plan, okay, is to, let's go ahead and actually use parts of mine, okay? Prep, okay? You have to prep. What do I mean by prep? In the morning, okay, you should be up no later than an hour before the market opens. If you cannot wake up 1 hour before the market opens, this is not going to be for you. It's not. I get it. Some of y'all are on the West Coast time frame, right? You chose to live in LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look, if you are 3 hours behind, you better get with the program. You better get with the program. Got to get with the program. If you got to wake up at 5 a.m., you got to make it happen. If you don't want to wake up at 5 a.m., I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. You know, no shade to nobody in LA. Love y'all. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm telling you is to wake up earlier. Okay? You got to get up earlier. You got to get up before the market opens. You should not be getting up. Okay? You should not be getting up at the same time that the market opens because you have not done any prep. What do I mean by prep? A part of your trading plan should be this, right? A part of your trading plan is what is it? Top-down analysis 1 hour before market open. Okay. In LA, the market open at 6:30 a.m. I don't know. I don't be remembering all the time frames and stuff like that. I just know that it's pretty early that y'all gotta wake up. Me, I just gotta get up at around 8. I'm normally up by like 6:30 or 7 anyways though, just because I like to stay disciplined. I like to be up, take my vitamins, you know, get up and moving, shower, brush my teeth, all that, meditate, do all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? So what do I mean by top-down analysis? When you open up your chart, okay, what I want you to do is I want you to open up to a ticker that you like, right? Whether you're focused on QQQ, and this is gonna be a part of your trading plan too. So here's what I'll do. I'm gonna put this right here, and I'll talk about this one first, and then we'll go back to number 2. So choose 1 to 3 tickers to focus on. Choose between 1 to 3 tickers to focus on. If you have a small account, if you're trading with less than $2,000, a really good ticker that you can focus on is IWM. It is very consistent. It gives a lot of strat setups, and it works. You know what I'm saying? You can grow a small account, and most importantly, the contracts are very, very cheap. So you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to be able to trade it. You can take a trade with $20. You can take a trade with $40 without being so far out of the money where it's just never gonna come into the money. You don't have to worry about that. All right. Another alternative is you can trade just QQQ, right? I know a lot of traders who only trade QQQ. So what is a ticker? It's a stock, right? IWM is the Russell 2000, QQQ, right? We should know these things, y'all. It's okay though. If you don't know, it's all good. Okay? Are y'all still following along? Drop a yes down below if so. Let me grab my charger for the computer so so my computer doesn't die as soon as I start talking about this. 1 second. Up. All right, cool. All right, cool. So choose between 1 to 3 tickers to focus on. The reason I say this is because you want to drown out the noise. Stop looking at all the charts. You're not going to be able to keep up with every single chart that's out there. You got to focus on 1 to 3. And the reason this is important is because you get to learn the personality of that stock. So every ticker trades in a different type of way. Every ticker reacts differently to data and to news, right? So it's very vital for you to just stick to 1 or 2 or 3 tickers where you can consistently look at their chart over and over and over and over. I promise you, the results come in the simple stuff, not the overly complex stuff. As long as you can understand it and you create a system around understanding it and executing it, you will be able to see better results than what you're currently seeing. Okay? Good. I'm glad we're making sense. Okay. Now, number 4. And let me go back to number 2. I know I just said I was going to go back to number 2. Okay. So top-down analysis. So basically what you're going to do now is you're going to say, hey, first off, morning prep. I'm up 1 hour before the market opens. I know what tickers I want to trade, whether it's IWM, QQQ, SPX, doesn't matter what ticker you're trading. Just stick with one. Okay. Stick with one that has volume, that has momentum, that a lot of people trade, that is liquid. When I mean liquid, I mean it's easy for you to get in and out. Okay. Now, top-down analysis, what I mean by this is you go to that ticker, you open up TradingView, okay? You're going to open up TradingView, and you are going to go look at the ticker, and you're going to start off at the daily time frame, and you're going to go from the daily, right? So let's just put this in here. Daily to 4 hour to 2 hour to 1 hour to 30 minute. This is top-down analysis. You want to start off the daily time frame. You want to go down to the 4 hour time frame. Then you want to go to the 2 hour time frame, then the 1 hour, then the 30 minute. Well, Tez, if I'm going through all these time frames, what exactly am I looking for? You are looking for setups on one of these higher time frames. Why? Because the picture that the higher time frame paints is going to be more accurate than looking at a 5-minute chart. Because you got to think about it. In order to make one 1 hour candle, right, you need to have what? What's that? So you need to have like literally the amount of 5-minute candles you need to have, right? That is equivalent to 60 minutes, right? You need to have what? What's that? 30? Not 30. I'm tripping. What's that? 560. I'm tweaking, y'all. Oh my God. I don't even know. Whatever the number is, right? I can't even think right now. I'm fucking trying to think about everything. 20. Okay, cool. 20, right? 12. Is it 12 or 20? 12 5-minute candles. 12 5-minute candles. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Yes, I'm a little slow. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Now, here's the thing. You got to wait for 12 5-minute candles just to make up one 1-hour candle. Why would you not look at the entry off the 1 hour and then wait for the 5-minute candles to add up and make sense with the entry on the 1 hour? Are y'all following me? Is that making sense? You start off on the higher time frames and then you enter off the lower time frames because the higher time frame is more important. It is more valuable of a picture. It's going to be super hard for you to put a puzzle together, right? It's going to be extremely hard for you to put a puzzle together if you're just looking at all the pieces everywhere. But it's a lot easier for you to set a puzzle up if you see what the puzzle is supposed to look like. You look at the picture and then you say, hey, let me work around. Let me build the edges out and then I'll work my way inward. It's a lot easier to build a puzzle like that if you've ever built a puzzle before, right? I had to do one with my daughter. And I realized, man, I did not build enough puzzles when I was a kid. Because she was like, Daddy, why can't we just do this so quickly? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I didn't have that opportunity with my parents. You know what I'm saying? My mom was a nurse. My dad was barely around. So I was like, hey, what you want me to do? You know, I got to learn with you. So you start off at the daily, go down to the 4-hour, 2-hour, 1 hour, 30-minute. Great. Now, what's next? Okay. Let me see. So we did the prep, top-down analysis, choose one. Okay, this is important. News and data. I'm going to leave this fucking capitalized. You know what I'm saying? News and data. Okay, you have to check these things before the market opens. You need to know what time important data comes out. Well, how do I do that? The sites you want to use is Forex Factory. You want to use Market Watch. Or actually, you use Yahoo Finance. Damn, I can't spell. You want to use Market Watch. What's another one? Bloomberg, right? You can use all these. Okay. So this is what your trading plan looks like in the morning. You prep in the morning, right? You do your top-down analysis. Daily, 4-hour, 2-hour on the tickers that you like. Between 1 to 3 tickers. You're only looking at those ones. Then you look at what news and data comes out. You either use the Forex Factory. Whoops, I got to remove this T right here. Right? You can use the Forex Factory, Yahoo Finance, Market Watch, Bloomberg. This is where you're going to know where the data is happening and what time it's happening at. Okay? The next thing, when you are about to trade, drown out the noise. I'll call this self-check. You need to self-check yourself. Before you trade, did you get into an argument with your girl again? Before you trade, did your dude piss you off? Before you trade, did you wake up and your kid smacked you in the face and you automatically mad? You need to do a self-check before you trade anything. Why do I say this is important? A lot of people don't realize how in their real life, things could have affected them that may affect their emotions. And then when you add money into the picture, you are asking for a recipe for disaster. Every time. You gotta have a self-check moment. Like, am I in the right headspace to even trade today? Am I in the right headspace to be able to try an attempt to flip money? Do you trade when you're sick? If I'm not feeling well, I'm not trading. Because if I'm super sick, and I rarely get sick, but when I'm sick, I'm like super, super sick. Like I can't even look at a computer, right? So like when I'm sick, I don't trade. You know what I'm saying? If I'm upset about, you know, something that happened last night and it's still weighing on me, I don't trade. If you know, you just lost money on a sports bet. Let's say, you know, I don't even want to pull that card, but let's say you seen the Ravens lose by 1 yesterday, right? Let's say you saw that game and you bet money on it and you lost. You shouldn't trade today because you're probably still pissed off about it. You like, dang, they came back and won by 1. That's a reason not to trade, because 9 times out of 10, your emotions are still caught up in that. Right? So these are reasons for you not to enter a trade. If you're hungover, you shouldn't be trading. If you are smoking and stuff, I don't know how y'all do that. Y'all be smoking and trading. If that worked for you, hey, to each is their own. Me, I'm good. I need to be sober. I need to be sharp when I am thinking. And this is why you have to remove all of this stuff. You have to do a self-check. Are y'all following along with me right now? The market is not going anywhere. Only trade when you have a clear mindset. Every single time. If there is the smallest thing that is throwing you off, that will be the thing that throws off the trade. I'm telling you. Just take my word for it. Like, I'm not selling you anything right now. All you have to do is just take my word for it. Why am I saying that? Because there's been too many times where I knew I shouldn't have taken a trade when I was upset. And then I lost money. And then I had to learn the lesson on my own. So again, you're gonna either learn the lesson, you're gonna pay your tuition either way. You're either gonna come to these lives and you're gonna spend a little bit of time with me, and that's you paying your tuition in time. Or you're gonna pay in money. You're gonna go learn the lesson anyways. You're gonna do the exact opposite of everything I'm telling you. You're gonna go try to do it on your own, and then it's gonna fall against you, and you go like, dang, that's a lesson I just learned. He was right. It happens. That's what's supposed to happen when you're learning something. You're supposed to bump your head so you know what not to do. Okay? Everybody following along? Cool. So this is your trading plan, okay? So we understand this, right? Can I delete this, y'all? Do y'all need to screenshot this? Screenshot. You know what I'm saying? Okay? And then we can write down the next part. We can go over the next part of the trading plan, but I don't have enough space for this. Screenshot it. Hey, good pose. Maybe if I could just move it up. Nah, it's still not enough. I need to actually like move this in. I just screenshot it before you asked to. I know some of y'all got me. Now don't be on no weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like watching me in your phone like at late at night when you like chilling and stuff. Like I get it. Look at me. But like don't be doing no weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like I know some of y'all weird, you know? Ain't nothing wrong with a little bit weird. But don't be like, you know, don't be super weird, you know, like, sheesh. At least wait until I get a haircut. Like, then you better be looking at me at night. What you talking about? You making it weird, bro? Okay, my bad. All right, lock in. Stop playing, y'all. Oh my God, y'all leading me down the wrong road. All right, that's gone. Okay, cool. The next part of your plan, okay? Trading capital, I'm sure he has 200K. I'm trading with 50K. Yeah, my account size is like 4. I shouldn't even say it. Nope, I'm not even gonna say it. Just know it's more than 200K on my account size. Now, I don't size my trades with 400K. Oh my gosh, bro. Tweaking, yo. Oh my God, we got it in the stream, bro. Tweaked. Oh my God, bro. I'm a tweak, bro. It's all good. Didn't hear nothing. All right, cool. Next part of the plan. All right. So next part is execution. All right, execution criteria. I think this is all one word. No, it's execution criteria. I got it right. Tweaking. Tweak. All right. So look, execution criteria. Okay. So everyone needs to have an execution criteria. What is an execution criteria, right? So what this is actionable signals or, wait, how do you do this? Okay, it'll look better like this. Or actionable signals or break of key levels. Okay, so here's how I'm gonna explain this. So a lot of you may not trade the strat. Okay, which is fine. If you don't want to trade the strat, I'm not trying to force your hand into trading the strat. I just think it'll help you comprehend what price is doing. That's all I'm saying, right? But at the end of the day, what I'm teaching you is something that you can utilize across all strategies. You're either getting an actionable signal. So if you're trading the strat, this is a 3-bar or a failed 2. So you're looking for an actionable signal, or you're looking for a break of a key level. If you trade support and resistance, you trade supply and demand, all that good stuff, you should be looking for a break of a key level. This is universal across all tickers, across all assets that you could possibly trade. A chart is a chart. A weekly level is always going to be a level of, a weekly high is always going to be resistance. A weekly low is always going to be support, right? Until we break above or below those levels, right? So why am I saying this is so important? You have to have a criteria, because if you're just taking trades without breaking a key level, what can happen is you're not taking a quality trade. Like, you got to really rank your trades. You got to be able to grade a trade. So what does a graded trade for me look like? Okay. I'm going to show you a high probability trade for me. Dang, bro, I cannot type to save my life, bro. High probability setup for me. Okay. So what a high probability setup looks like for me is one, let's just say a sweep of liquidity. Bro, I cannot type, right? So let's say it's a sweep of liquidity, right? What does that mean? We broke a level of resistance. Let's say this was a high. We broke up just a little bit and then we swung back through. We failed to stay higher, right? So you had a sweep of liquidity. Number two, price closes under VWAP, which means, so hey, look, we broke above this ceiling. We couldn't breathe up there in that atmosphere. So we come back down and we close under the VWAP. Whenever price is under the VWAP, this is a level of support and resistance. It's just like a dotted line that I have on my chart. Some of y'all were asking about it, right? This line is just symbolizing support and resistance. So when price is under there, I'm looking to sell, right? I'm looking for puts, right? So I have a sweep of liquidity, price closes under the VWAP, and I get an actionable signal. This is either a failed 2 or 3. Let's just do this 3 bar, okay? And then fourth is we are at a key level. This is a high probability setup for me. When price does a sweep of liquidity, I'm watching. I'm right on it. Okay, cool. This is something I want to pay attention to. Where do we close at from here? Where does the candle close? Okay, the candle closes under the VWAP. This is a level of support and resistance. We closed under our recent level of support. And on top of that, it gave you a failed 2. So we pushed up higher past resistance, got a failed 2 candlestick. We failed to go higher. We failed to breathe at that atmosphere. So we had to come back down, right? Sellers are in control, right? You close under the support, right? The actionable signal is giving you confirmation. And then let's say you're at Monday's highs and lows, or previous days highs and lows, or previous week highs and lows, previous quarter highs and lows, whatever key level it is, right? Let's say you're at that level, you get the actionable signal, you're also under the VWAP, and you also did a sweep of liquidity. I'm taking it every time, every single time. As soon as I see it, I'm taking it. I don't care. You can't tell me nothing about it, right? The reason I say this is because I back tested it, right? So a part of your trading plan as well is after trades, or actually look, during weekends, back test. You gotta back test, yo. What is back testing? It's when you go on TradingView and you go back in time and you look at how the price reacted. What did price do when we got to this level? What type of candlestick did we get, right? How did it react around this level, right? What does the volume look like at this time of the day? Did I take my trade at the wrong time of the day? Like, you gotta chase your curiosity, right? Become curious about something and then chase the curiosity. Find where the answer is being, find where the solution is leading you or the problem is leading you, and you'll find the solution, right? So what I'll do is on the weekends, I'll back test. I get it. Y'all want to kick it. Y'all want to club. That shit is so played out. You telling me that y'all all standing on the same couch. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all standing on the same couch, bobbing to the same song. Nobody dancing. Everybody making eye contact. Nobody talking. You don't know who beefing with who. You don't know what's about to happen when the lights turn on. You don't know what happens when you walk outside. You don't know what's about to happen. You drinking, right? You're drinking 400% priced bottles. You're buying a bottle of Anejo. Let's say you buying a bottle of Don Julio for $600, and you're telling me the owner drove around the corner and bought it for $80. You're getting smoked. So you got smoked today in the club, and then tomorrow you showing up to the market hungover again, smoked and taxed again. It's called double threat. You got smoked, you got torched, cooked, annihilated. You're done. It don't make sense. During the weekends, sacrifice what you need to sacrifice to get to where you're trying to get to, or you don't want it bad enough. The double whammy, for real. The Big Mac sauce and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got cooked. And here's the thing, like, all right, you want to trade with an account how I trade, because I trade with my own capital, right? Well, here's the thing. I sacrificed I've been doing this for 5-6 years. I became an entrepreneur at 19. I was still working a job while I was still, you know what I'm saying, building my net worth, my everything, my businesses. I was still working a job. I was still selling cars. I was working 2 12-hour shifts a week at 19, selling cars. Sitting there, getting in people's cars, evaluating their car, giving it to my sales manager, coming back, talking to the finance manager. The person's credit is at 400. I gotta swing away to get the bank to get them approved. Now I gotta come back to them with, their car note is now $1,100. They thought it was gonna be $400. Now I gotta explain to them why they gotta pay $800 more than what we talked about in the, like, I did all that. And I have to sacrifice the weekends because at the end of the day, it's always gonna be there. Those people that you see making videos, smoking hookah, all that, they're gonna still be there, yo. What's not gonna be there is the time for you to dedicate, the energy for you to dedicate into something that can help you. That's not gonna always be there. But your priorities gotta be in you gotta be in check. You gotta self-check yourself. You don't get rich by accident. Even the people who win the lottery, you get taxed, right? The recent poll of the lottery this year, right, is 1.4 billion, and the person who wins walks away with 300 million. How does that make sense? And then the people who walk away with 300 million, right, or 400 million, you've never had money management principles. So when you touch that money, it's going to be gone in 4 to 5 years. And there's a study that has been done over the last 3 decades that people who win the lottery end up going back broke after the first 3 years of them winning the lottery. 3 years. It's not accident. It's you being prepared. You get rich by being prepared. You get wealthy by being prepared. You grow your account by being prepared. Anything in life, you get better in the gym when you are prepared for the gym. When you show up to the gym. When you execute in the gym. When you stop bullshitting in the gym. You get the woman of your dreams, or you get whatever you want that is a part of the dream lifestyle that you want when you are prepared for it. God is not going to just give you something early just because you want it. You are not the person who deserves it. Don't blame him. Don't blame me. Blame yourself. It ain't my fault you don't deserve it. It ain't my fault you don't have it. That's on you. And you can blame the world if you want to. But guess what? Nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I don't care. You come tell me all your life problems. I don't care. What you gonna do about it? What you gonna do about it? When your kids ask you, why was life so hard for them? What you gonna tell them? Yeah, I decided to go drink overpriced Don Julio, and I wanted to go kick it, and I wanted to go mess around with girls, and I wanted to go do all this, because I felt like that was more important. I wanted to have some fun. Oh, I'm only 20. I'm only in my 20s, so I can fuck off my 20s. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody else do it. Well, you trying to get somewhere where everyone else can't get to. You trying to breathe in an atmosphere where they can't breathe. They can't go with you. So when I tell you to lock in on this, I say put 2 feet in. Not 1 foot in, 1 toe out. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, yo, lock in. And if you're not trying to lock in, this is not the stream you should be in. You got to go ahead and swipe out. I know for a fact we just lost hella viewers. And that's cool because they are a part of the matrix. You are going to consistently be there. You are a Fortnite bot. You're botted. You're done. You're not going to get where you want to get. And at the end of the day, there's no reason in the world why I'm going to tell my daughter why she can't get what she wants. It's just not going to happen. You might tell your kids that. That's not something I'm going to tell mine. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you better choose wisely. You better ask yourself what's more important. Right? Because I'm just being honest with you. Like, for real. Like, you got to get your priorities in check, man. Like, none of the other stuff matters, yo. None of the other stuff matters. I know I just went off on a crazy rant. But, like, all right, back to what I was saying. Trading plan. This is a high probability setup. You have to find yourself a high probability setup that you like. Right? Yeah, you just gained a follower. Thank you. I appreciate that. Right? You have to find a high probability setup for you. So if you trade support and resistance, it might be a break and retest of a key level, right? And you're under VWAP, or you're under the EMAs, or RSI is in alignment. These things might be your high probability setup. I told y'all, I've done all of those. I traded support and resistance. I traded supply and demand. I traded trend lines, and I did it all, right? So these might align with your criteria. This just makes the most sense to me. Boom. Are we good now? Or is everything I'm saying valuable right now to you? Do you feel like this is worth listening to? Do you feel like you're glad you joined in here? Just drop a yes down below. If I don't see enough yeses, I'm jumping off this live. Just keep it a buck with you, because it's time for dinner, and I could really just click off right now, and I could just go about my business and just pray that everybody just remembers something from this live. Or you could just drop yes down below, and I'll keep going. Thank you. Aren't you glad that you pulled up? I'm glad you pulled up, you know? All right, so this is this, okay? This part is this part. All right, I need y'all to screenshot this. Screenshot. I'm about to delete this, and we're gonna move on to the next part of the framework, which is your risk management. Yep. And then after that, we got journaling. Okay, risk management. More flicks. Your boyfriend gonna hate me. Ooh. Ooh, he gonna be like, bro, why is he all in your phone? Now I'm about to be popping up in your recents on your phone. They gonna have a picture of my face in your albums, and he gonna be like, yo, you better edit him out. And don't do it, ladies. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, so this is gone. This is gonna get deleted right now. So all right, that's that. It's gone. It's gone. You should have had it when you had a chance. You should have screenshotted it. All right, cool. Risk management. Okay, risk management. Your risk management has to be on point. Risk management. Okay. Can you go over in detail possible liquidation sweeps? Yeah, I'll go over a liquidity sweep with you guys. There was one back here. If I were to go down to a 15-minute time frame, what's today? Damn, you know, I'm gonna show y'all after I do this. That way I don't get distracted. Oh my God, I thought I lost it. Okay, here it is. I'll show you after this. All right, so risk management, okay? You need to make sure, I already wrote this, but I'm gonna write it again. Your wins outweigh your losses. Okay? Your wins need to outweigh your losses. Okay, what do I mean by that? If you lose 2 trades, the one profitable trade you have should still be able to outweigh your losses, right? So I'm gonna put a 2-to-1 or 1-to-2, however way you wanna say it. Actually, I'll just put it in simpler terms so everybody understands it. Risk $1 to bring back 2 or more. Okay, this is how your risk management should be set up. You want to risk $1 to be able to bring back 2 or more. So when I take my trade, that is a part of my trading plan. I prep, I show up to the market, I see what news is coming out, I did all those things, I checked all those boxes, right? Then I'm considering, before I enter a trade, where's my account at? How much money am I okay with risking and leveraging? I'm gonna put a 30% stop loss, 40% stop loss, 50% stop loss. You put your stop loss, right? When you set your stop loss, the trade either goes your way or it hits your target. I mean, either it hits your target and it goes your way, or you get stopped out. Stop closing your trades out early. Just because you're down 44.3 point, like just because you're down 47%, let the trade stop you out. Don't try to prematurely close it out, because there's gonna be times where price will get extremely close to your stop loss and then go right back in the opposite direction. And now you're sitting there pissed off that you just didn't let it stop you out. Let the trade stop you out. Let the platform stop you out. You can do a manual stop loss. What is a stop loss, right? A stop loss is when you tell your brokerage that this is the most amount of money that I want to lose. So if I put in $100 and my stop loss is at 50%, I'm telling the brokerage that, hey, when I get down negative $50, I want you to just sell my contracts. I want you to just get me out the trade. That's what's going to happen. That is what a stop loss is. Does everybody get what a stop loss is? Does that make sense? Okay. Now, real quick, before we move on to the next thing, for the new people who are asking me, my group is closed, guys. It's closed. I love you. I'm glad that you are enjoying this. Just enjoy the free info that I got for you for right now, though. Okay. Just enjoy the free stuff. I ain't here to sell you nothing. Okay. What I do want you to do, though, is if you're in here, first off, before I show you this, if you're in here, you work a 9 to 5, right? You have an active income. And or you're a struggling trader, you got a couple $1,000s liquid right now, and you're trying to grow your account. You're trying to compound your account. You're trying to find a strategy that will actually work good for you, and you want to be able to execute, and you want to learn live from me. I'm hosting a live trading workshop. I can only seat 1,000 people inside of a Zoom. So if you're not a part of the registration list, you will not get the text or the email to join the Zoom call. So do not text me on the day like, Tez, can you send me the Zoom? No, once we hit capacity, that is it. You can tell right now, my group is closed because we hit capacity. Don't test me on this one too, because I'm gonna show you why. I tell y'all, if it's at capacity, I'm not taking any more, I'm not taking any more. It's just what it is. I'm a man of my word, all right? So if you're a part of that criteria and you want to learn more about the strat, smart money concepts, my indicators, when to get into trade, when to get out of trades, you want to see me trade, all that stuff, I'm hosting a live workshop on Zoom. So in order to reserve a free slot, right, a free seat, you don't have to pay anything. You don't got to put a card number in. You don't got to do none of that. All you have to do is click the top of my account. So on this stream, at the top, all the way up top, above me, above these words, it should be all the way up, you know, towards up there somewhere, right? You want to go ahead and click my account and go over here, right? When you get to my account, you're going to click the link in my bio, and it's going to pull up my link tree. You're going to click the first option right here. When you click link tree, it's going to pull this up. To register for the free live workshop, you click here. As long as you meet that criteria, you join here. If you don't meet that criteria, if funds are a little bit tight right now, and this isn't something that you can really, you know, afford to do right now, all good. I have a 6-hour free course for you. You click the second link and it'll pull this up, and we will email you over a link to the course. It is a 7-hour course. Now, I know y'all got me to 50,000 likes. I promise that I will show y'all this free course. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull it up for you right now. Okay, so right here, this is what you're gonna get access to. This is the beginner's course. This is 7 hours and 51 minutes long. Inside of this beginner's course, what you're gonna get access to is a full A to Z trading course. So if you don't know what a ticker is, if you don't know what a stock is, if you don't know what a share is, if you don't know what liquidity is, if you don't know what momentum is, if you don't know what any of that stuff means, you should go join the free group, okay? On top of that, I will give you a 2-hour video of us walking through setting up your TradingView account. So if you don't know how your chart is supposed to be set up, I will walk you through it right here. On top of that, I will teach you how to understand the strat, the numbers on the candlestick, the time frames and all that stuff. I'll show you exactly how to understand all of that here. On top of that, I will give you examples of winning trades and losing trades, so you know what to expect, and the fact that I don't win every single trade. No one person wins every trade. And then if you work a 9 to 5, or you have kids, or you just have a busy life and you can't sit down and trade every single day, well, I want to show you how to swing trade, which is perfect for people who have a 9 to 5. You will be able to learn how to trade while you still work your job, okay? Down here, we have some reading material. I have a PDF that's about 80 pages long, right? You can go through that. It's called Trade Smart, Invest Smarter. And then on top of that, I have a Strat ebook that you can learn how to read the charts and all that good stuff. So all that stuff is in my bio. It's the first 2 links. So first, workshop. Second, join the group, okay? You can do both if you want to, right? That would be probably smart for a lot of people, right? So join both. Are we good? Do I need to answer any questions on this? Do I need to answer any questions on this stuff? I'm gonna give y'all some time to go ahead and go register. I'm not gonna do nothing too crazy right now. Done, register. Shout out to Momo for registering. I'll see you there. Make sure you guys reserve your seat. Reserve your seat. Shoot, I missed the last screenshot. Someone send it to me, please. You gotta be, your name is Tender Hands. You gotta be quicker than that. Come on. Just got in. Where do I register? You click the link in my bio. Go to Linktree. And then it's the first link there. Okay, done. All right, look, I'm giving y'all time to go do it right now. So look, I'm gonna give y'all the next like 60 seconds or like 2 minutes, right? I'm giving y'all 2 minutes right now. For right now, I'm gonna just be answering questions in the chat. For those of you who have not registered, go do it right now. Do you use bots or indicators? I use indicators, no bots though. Well, I have bots in my Discord that send out stuff, but I personally don't use like any crazy thing unless it's like high momentum or volume bots. Once you guys register, comment done down below. If you register for the workshop or you join the free group, just comment done down below. Shout out to Ash. Appreciate you, Queen. Dantes, yo, Sam. Shout out to Sam. Just drop done down below if you already registered and reserved your seat. Shout out to user 217. Do you use flag patterns? Not necessarily. Well, if it's like it's just right there in my face, I'll use it, but not too much. I just stick to the strat for the most part. I use the strat for the most part. Just comment done when you guys are done. What up, Karina? Shout out to AEP. He said he reserved his slot. Joanne reserved her slot. Who else reserved their slots? I think they're probably still there doing it. How old were you when you stopped selling cars? Selling cars was the last job I ever had. I ended up quitting at 21. When I quit my job, I was selling do-rags at the time. We were doing like 10 to 12,000 a month. So take home, I was already making like, we had 64% margins. So what's that, like 5,000? Like I was already making like 5,000 to 6,000 while I was working a job. Subscribe to your YouTube channel. Yo, Big Cheese, thank you, brother. Yo, shout out to LKH for the sub. EBK, thank you for the sub. CJ, thank you for the sub. The Goat Man, appreciate you for the sub, King. Cruel, appreciate you for the sub. Moneymakers United, I appreciate you guys for the sub. Big V, appreciate you for the sub. Harry, thank you for the sub. OG Bora, thank you for the sub. Yo, thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate it. The group is closed right now, my good brother. My group is closed right now. For right now, just enjoy the free group or the workshop. All right, is everybody back from registering? Is everybody back? Shout out to Lynn for shout out to Lynn, Diego, Siani, Dana. Appreciate you guys registering and reserving a seat. Okay, we'll jump back into things now. Okay, I think everybody's back now. Cool. Shout out to Nando as well. Shout out to Nando. Johnny, shout out to Johnny as well. Secure my spot for the Zoom Sunday. Do I have to add a VIP workshop? If you want to come prepared, yes, you should add it. The Zoom is going to be on the 21st, not this Sunday, y'all. It's the next Sunday. So not this Sunday, the one after. Shout out to Leanne for enrolling, or not enrolling, but reserving her slot as well. All right, cool. We're good to move on. I gave y'all about 2 minutes. I'm pretty sure we're at that 2-minute mark now. If you guys seen the VIP workshop prep kit, if you want to come prepared to the workshop, I would say do it. But if you don't want to be prepared, that's perfectly fine as well. Okay. All right. So we talked about stop losses. We talked about risk management, risk $1 to bring back 2 or more. What does that look like? Okay. So if I have a contract, okay, let's say I buy IWM 235 calls for, let's say, tomorrow, right? Let's say it's 9/9. Okay, so this is the contract you're buying. Let's say this contract costs $100, right? For example, let's say it costs $100. Well, my goal is my stop loss is going to be $50. So I'm willing to risk $50. My goal is to hit 100% plus on the next trade, on that trade. So I'm gonna risk $50 to try to go make $100. If the trade goes 100% plus, that's just extra. Now, you can also take a base hit. So let's say you take a trade and your target only gives you 40 or 50% on your trade. It's cool. Take the 40 or 50%, stack it, right? Take the W, move on to the next trade, because the next trade might give you the 200%, 300%, right? That might give you that. Does this make sense? Yo, Momo, shout out to Momo as well. Shout out to MB. Shout out to Naima as well. Okay? Does this make sense? Drop a yes down below in the chat if this makes sense. Shout out to Smart Signal FX. Yes, sir. Good, good, good. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect. I'm glad everything is making sense. Okay, perfect. 70,000 likes is crazy. Crazy. All right, let's keep going. Okay, let's keep going. So, Your goal is either to stack base hits, right? You're either stacking base hits or you're letting runners go, right? You're buying, extra contracts and letting those runners go. Well, what happens if, here's another scenario. Let's say you hit 100% on the trade and you take $100, right? So let's say you are now up $100, right? Let's say you make $100 here. Well, what if the trade is still going in your direction? Well, here's what you can do. You can re-enter the trade with, let's say, $20 of your profit, or let's say, you can re-enter with $15. So now you can go send back another $15 now, a part of your profit. So even if it doesn't go your way, it's all good. I risked profits. But now what you can do is you can re-enter with $15, and this $15 might go back and bring, let's say, $45. So now you up $145 now, and you only risked 15. So this means that this was a 1 to 3 risk to reward. You risked $15 and you bring back 45. Okay? Does this make sense? So this is how you're able to maximize and stack your profits. You win a trade, you take a percentage of the wins of the profits, and you roll it back into the same trade if it's still going in your way. If that trade goes back and brings you more profits, now you're stacking your overall profits, which allows your account to compound easier. Okay? That's how you're going to be able to grow your account. So all of these rules, this trading plan that we had, it's all calculated. These are all things that it's not exactly what's on here. Mine is a little bit more in depth, but for the most part, it's pretty much on here. Okay? It's just one that we built together that you can utilize now. And then you can just come back and let me know how you like it. Ooh. Make sense? What strategy or indicators are you using that could make a sure thing though? It could. It just depends on the way that you trade. What strategy you use, right? If you don't trade the strat, if you're, trading support and resistance, supply and demand, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to go based off the criteria of your trading style. But for me, this is what it looks like for me. And if you're learning from me and this is something you're actively doing right now, then this is more than likely what's going to work for you. Okay? Now, I've been on this stream for about 2 hours now, so I'm going to go ahead and get ready for dinner. Go ahead and eat some good food. Go ahead and lay down, relax for the day, debrief. I feel a little overstimulated. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit the follow button before I jump off. Again, go register for the live workshops. You guys can, if you didn't yet, go do it right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get off here. I'll be live trading on Wednesday. So pull up Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I might stream tomorrow, like another teaching, like another one like this at around 7 p.m. But you guys will get the notification as long as you follow me. If you haven't already, go check out my YouTube. This whole entire stream is going to be posted on my YouTube, so you can feel free to go back and rewatch the whole thing. If you guys liked it, let me know. Shoot me over a DM if you guys liked it. If there's anything that I can help you with, if you couldn't find a certain link, you can feel free to shoot me over a DM. If you got a question, shoot me over a DM. But I love you guys dearly. I greatly appreciate every person who pulled up. Shout out to all my subs as well. Shout out to Dev for the sub, Sam for the sub. Greatly appreciate you guys for the subs. 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, I'll do another one of these. And then live streaming 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday. That's when I'll be trading live with you guys. All right. That is pretty much it. Bless up, y'all. Happy Monday. And